that. It's not a huge gap between them and Minnesota Rocker, but if we've done the math, Allie, Minnesota has to get to a grand final if they get the chance,
a grand final. And honestly, it's one of those situations where, like, yeah, it sucks because you're going to be playing the loser of Atlanta FaZe in Optic, Texas if you're a Minnesota Rocker, but you're facing your own hands at this point.
And I also saw a fantastic stat. If you are an Optic fan, they play Atlanta FaZe, but if Optic is able to make a run here, maybe make it to a championship Sunday, they could be looking at a 6 seed instead of a 7 seed. That is a Toronto poll. They've already beaten Toronto. Yeah. That is the ideal start to your champs run.
Yeah, that would be massive. That's 2 matches in a row now. They've beat Toronto. They feel very comfortable in that one. And obviously Mercules as well. After having the run with them, he would love to play them again.
If you're making it to championship Sunday, the ideal way is to do it through the winner's bracket. And today Optic has to go through Atlanta FaZe, who has been the #1 team of the last 5 seasons during the regular season. Optic, are they a true threat? They're either hot or not. Yesterday, they looked hot.
Well, FaZe have already started to show the good stuff here. Optic get the crowds on their side. Texas has turned up very well for them here in DreamHack, and I do believe this is the sort of team that thrives so well. When the crowd is on their side, when they've got everything working out for them, unbeatable. But FaZe is an incredible test for Mercules.
Yeah, I mean, we'll know if they're a threat after this match. Up against Atlanta, they've had no success. We saw at the last major, got 3-0 to get knocked out of the tournament, but that was before Mercules. And for Optic, 5-1 in control this split. That'll be massive in a match against Atlanta FaZe, where like you expect each team to win their map pick in the hard point. The control will be a massive test for them, but from what we've seen throughout this split, they can win it. And Merc's been leading the way with a 1.5 in the game mode.
Now, I know we're at DreamHack. We got a lot of awesome folks checking out Call of Duty esports for the first time, but this is a historic rivalry. This is just the last 4 years, and you can see in Black Ops 6, FaZe has had their number, but overall, it's 11-10.
Yeah, and it's rough when you look at the overall. At least for Black Ops 6, it hasn't been great for side of Optic Texas, but I will say those matches have been close, right? Like, it's El Clasico for a reason, and this is probably the best Optic Texas have looked so far this season. But the issue is, same for Atlanta FaZe. They have looked unreal near the tail end of this stage.
On that graphic, you guys saw how many match wins it was last year? 6. You know why? The CEO, Drazah, has had so much success up against Optic.
It's a good pickup for them.
Yeah.
A fantastic pickup. I mean, this is the scariest thing about FaZe. Obviously, Respawn's looking a little bit better right now. Confidence is key, but this is a team that even on their worst day, they're still one of the best squads in the league. Yeah, no doubt about it. So right now, we're starting to see them in a little bit of better form. They've had some solid tests on the run-up here. A match against Optic, again, a win here, I think, against a crowd like this is only going to give FaZe the confidence they need to run further in the tournament. Up until they get up against Minnesota Rocker, maybe in that grand final. You know what I'm saying? But until that point, I do think this is a really good matchup and a really good opportunity for FaZe to keep their confidence and keep going.
The best sign was Simp went crazy yesterday. And the Tiny Terrors have been struggling. But Simp yesterday put up crazy numbers, over 1.4, dominated in the respawn. So for Atlanta FaZe, that's what they're going to need to win a chip here.
The Horn of Proteus is live and well here in Dallas. Welcome, everyone. Day 2, DreamHack kicking off right now. And Allie, we have been playing bingo the last 2 majors. This time, on day 2, we are about to hit a bingo. Let's take a look at our card. We haven't heard an egregious yet from Nameless.
Which is insane, by the way.
A new COD meme is born. Talent wears a cowboy hat. Guy Blaze is on your stage. You know that's happening.
I did that last Texas.
Are we sure we didn't see an RC team kill? Was it just an RC suicide yesterday?
We saw an RC.
It's only a suicide.
Yeah.
No team kills yet.
No betrayals.
In game,
really
of course.
Close. Really, really close. 2025 Grand Final debut. That could be Rocker.
Wait, we saw 3-0 Hacienda, I think.
Rocker makes it to champs is on that card as well.
Wait a minute. Drazah and Scrap Fistbump is still on the board.
That's never going to take off.
This is a lot of fun. Shout out to whoever made the bingo card for Dallas. Play along at home. Take a drink whenever we cross one of those off. And we are jumping into the action, Miles.
We have a 1v3 clutch, I do believe. I believe we've had a 1v3. Kenny got a 1v3 clutch. So that one, bingo on that card.
Bingo! We'll deal with that. Let's take a look at the schedule for today. We've got 4, make it 5 matches coming your way. Starting off with Ultra versus Gorilla Mates. Miami Heretics, your #1 seed. Still alive and well, taking on LA Thieves. And then, of course, the big one, Atlanta FaZe versus Optic Texas. We're going to be sending out 2 more teams tonight as the competition gets whittled down for Championship Sunday. We're going to break when we come back. Call of Duty League Day 2. We're starting live here with Major 4. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto Ultra have made it to back-to-back championship Sundays. They did the most recent run with Mercury's in the lineup. Today, they're looking to start off hot against LAG, and our maps and modes are ready to go. So, Rosalie, I know you've been crunching the numbers between yesterday and today. Is there a chance that poor Rosalie gets another dub tonight for LAG?
Honestly, I don't hate it. I think that dealership's going to be very difficult for the side of LA Gorilla Mates. I think for Toronto Ultra, you're looking at Joe to just get absolutely active in the middle side of that map. But I feel like the Skyline to warm them up early on in this series, I think it might be a bit now.
Miles?
I distracted you there, Chris, with some hands.
I like your
I was
heart.
throwing up gang signs at Chris Puckett, ladies and gentlemen.
Perfect.
Well, look, dude, I've seen enough. Am I doing the first pick, by the way? Is that what's happening?
Would you
here?
like to? It's our
I'd love
scuff.
to.
Let's go
Go
ahead.
for it.
Scuff pick 'em.
Let me take this one.
Miles wants to go first, and he's going with Kismet.
I have
What?
seen enough. I think this is okay. There it is.
What do you want to do? You want LAG?
No, I've got it. I'll go with LAG.
You
Yeah.
He's
with
going
that?
LAG.
You back with the LAGs?
I'll let you go first, Allie.
Listen, I said it yesterday. Like, I'm not ready for it to end here. I'm going to go with LA Gorilla Mates for sure. Fist bump me.
Listen, it's Saturday. It's losers
Thank
bracket.
you.
I got Toronto Ultra. They've been here before. They're making this run.
Lunars was lights out yesterday. Today is Saturday. I'm going with Toronto Ultra. Insight about the takeover on the stage to get this party started. Make some noise for Guy Blaze.
Thank you so much, Puckett. I am ready to get this show started. DreamHack, this crowd is looking amazing. You guys ready to go? Oh my God, hold up, that was solid. That's not over here, it's on the other side of the venue. You guys ready to get this Saturday started? The first squad coming to the stage playing for their tournament life. Get ready to make some noise for the Los Angeles Gorillas. Johnny, Loners, Fellow, and Kismet. Ready to lay it all out on the stage. The Gorilla Mates are here.
Look, we all thought we were going to say goodbye to LA Gorilla Mates yesterday. The hopes and expectations were so low, but that's what makes this team so grand. So much pressure on their shoulders, and a rookie in Lunars decided that he was going to become a diamond. The question now is if they can do it once again heading into today against the Toronto Ultra. Let's bring him out, Guy.
I'm ready to bring them out because the next team, we almost didn't see them today either, but they're ready to bounce back. So DreamHack, give a warm welcome to the Toronto Ultra! Beans, Joe Deceives, Insight, and Kleenex. For the strength of the North, Toronto Ultra are ready.
You can see them powered by Monster Energy. They're feeling good. Listen, they've been in the loser bracket. They're familiar with this place. They've made the run to a Sunday plenty of times, and they got to go through LAG. They're confident, they're cool, they're calm, and they're ready to do it. Let's get it going, guys.
I'm ready to get it going. All our players ready to show the monster on stage and give it everything in which they got. DreamHack for the last time. You guys ready to go? Wait a minute, let me see that monster in you.
All right, I don't know if we need to see that, but I bumped into Inside of all places in the bathroom. I was like, all right, dude.
We're still going with this,
I was
huh?
like, another losers run, I guess. And he's like, yeah, this year, that seems to be the recipe this year. Yeah, they get the losers in round one. They make the run. We'll see if they can do it again. It's
Not a good recipe.
No, it's not.
No.
But can they get to another podium? And then for LAG, the best series we've seen from them yesterday, without question. Best series we've seen from Lunars. These guys have faced off, and it was a competitive series. I mean, okay. What, LAG took the first map, and then...
Yeah, that was the qualifier at the major. At Major 3, they got smoked. It was a 3-0 pop.
That's true. That's true.
But online,
I'm hitting a lot of the one qualifier match, I guess.
Yeah, there was the one Hacienda where they 100-point clubbed them. They looked good, but yeah, Toronto Ultra regained there. So like we have seen this a couple of times recently, but LAG took care of it. Ultra took care of it.
Will you agree with this? LAG seemed to be maybe in their best form of the year. Ultra seem to be sliding a bit right now.
I mean, this is probably yesterday was one of the worst days for Ultra, no doubt about it. They just survived. They went to a Game 5, round 11 with Carolina. They popped out of winners round 1. And it's the way they also lost first off. It was not a good look at all.
No, it absolutely wasn't. No, this is champs. That's absolutely the Monster Energy pregame for LAG. Everything on the line for Gorillas Mate. We'll see if they can make a run. Already got a win on land, which is something for this organization. It's been a very tough year. But can they keep it going? You talk about the 2 tough years like Falcons, LAG. Falcons already with the biggest upset of the year. They're able to beat Vancouver Surge. If LAG get it here, we'll add it to the list of this weekend. What an upset it could be.
No, and again, yesterday they looked great. All 4 players really had a great match. They all really stepped up. Fellow had some big sprees, right? Obviously, it was the Lunar show, but yeah, I mean, Kids kept up his consistency. Now, from a just team standpoint, with all 4, everybody looked to be on the same
Yeah, I was
spot.
wondering if, like, for Lunars, like, you know, it's an adjustment when you go from Challengers to the League. That probably felt like a Challengers match in a way. Like, it's a lot of players that just came out of Challengers on Cloud9. I don't know what it was exactly, but it was the best we have seen him look, and I'm excited to see if he can do more of that here. It's not going to be that type of matchup, though. It's maybe not going to have your Challengers-type player in gameplay. This is going to be a star-studded lineup of Toronto Ultra, as they'll look to get things flowing early on, line it up in front of Insight. But the early time, going the way of Joe DeCeves.
Yeah, a very tough test here early for LAG. I mean, this is Ultra's best hardpoint map on the year throughout stage 4. You know, they're 2-0, but 13-3 on the year. They do not lose it often.
No, they are absolutely impressive on this particular map and mode. CleanX, nice little start from him. They're finding all the kills here early, setting up for the P2 rotation. Beans has got mid cut up and sliced up. They still lock it down. It has just been dominant just in the slang early. Sets them up for a ton of time. That's a 45-second P1 and holding rotation the entire time for the P2. It doesn't get more lopsided than this early. That'll be a 3 dead zone, a chance to maybe flip the script. The pressure going to be to CleanX to hold this and hold the spawns. He's able to do it so far.
Yeah, massive kill on a Johnny. Johnny was able to pop 2. I mean, if he gets that, maybe he gives his team spawns right before Ultra pop
Probably
on
does,
up.
yeah.
But doesn't happen. CleanX, as you said, able to find it. Yeah, I mean, you're already 70-0 here on the first map of the day.
No, that's one of those one-on-ones that doesn't really show on the scoreboard, but it's a one-on-one that could be a massive swing in the overall score line. For Gorillas, mate, we're looking for that first point as we're getting deeper into this, hoping to find some kind of opening. And they're finally, nope, I lied. They're not going to get that first second in yet. All right, they're on the scoreboard. Now they'll try to mount this comeback. They're going to need a great 3 into 4.
Yeah, but even then, when it's 10 seconds, well, 15 or so, and you flip the map again, well, a couple of kills come in, but Ultra, they're going to be spawning out bedroom. That's the side that they want for P3 and P4.
They did such a good job holding the P2 side throughout the entire P1. Now, could they do the same thing here? Could they continue to hold P4 side while also soaking up time inside of the P3? I'd say this next 60 seconds probably decides whether this is going to be a competitive map or an absolute blowout. Couple of entry kills, enough to make this messy in and around the point. At least get Ultra out for now. The spawns are already going to flip out, so you'll take that if you're LAG. You need to fight for some time just based on how the scoreline has gone early, but I guess you'll take that small win.
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. Now you just can't play too conservative. Yeah, you have to get aggressive on this hill and just try to find some time. It's very similar to P1. Ultra just locked it down, and now they are finding all the kills. Everybody alive, and they're going to flip the spawns with 15 seconds to go.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't maybe as realistic to have them hold that side the entire time like they were able to do in that P1, but the fact is they battle back, they get control. There is a presence here early from LAG trying to play disruption inside, but they're only able to take down 1, and there's the clearance around the new hardpoint. A nice pick from Lunars from deep. That might spell an opening. Beans is going to get some shots and info through on the cross. How much can he set up his teammates here to hold?
Yeah, Insight with an 8, able to take down Lunars, and you're trying to waiting for your teammates off spawn. One player will spawn out. That's going to be Beans. That's just due to Fellow's presence. He's blocking the spawn. So going 2 for 2. Now you're 3 for 2. Plus you have the spawns. A much-needed break for LAG, but fighting back is Ultra.
Yeah, a much-needed break, but the scoreline is still brutal. Up 120, Ultra in supreme control. The best we've seen them look on the weekend. Let's hear the comms right now from the Ultra crew.
Guys on top stone. Don't jet. You know, jet. They're gonna be catching me.
Top. Give me a sec.
One's in the corner. Go
Straight jump behind it. Top stone. Bridge. Johnny, watch out. I still want to Johnny too. Dead. I need it. Okay, listen. Johnny.
Play goes.
Give me catch.
Yeah, I don't see him.
Front part.
Much of a menu.
Yeah, I'm jumping down. He's dead.
What's the piano?
Great job. Look, Jim dead. Oh, nice shit. Keep my top. No, he's piano, bro.
Can you have silver piano? You guys get time? I will get okay?
Three piano, what's up? All for you.
Great job. I want piano, Johnny. Piano, Johnny, one shot, dead. Missing Lunars. I'm being top line. Hey, John, John, blind, running off bridge, dead. Hey, John, I'm right there.
They're going to be catching me. One top line, two line.
Yeah, piano system first.
Piano step.
Piano, dead.
Nice one for sure.
He's going tree. Yeah, tree, dead.
I got time, okay?
Catch me, close tree. Kiss that, one more deep right.
Absolutely done.
Keep dead.
Johnny. Could be under.
I can help you. I have catch. I have catch. I still want catch.
Piano boys.
Piano, Johnny. Let's go. I'm looking back. No, he went out. Low bow. Back to the couch.
Lord Almighty, Toronto Ultra delivering the ass whooping of the year. Only 28 points on the board for LAG. This is unbelievable.
I mean, this is complete opposite of the Ultra we saw yesterday from a slaying standpoint, but also just fundamentally winning all the rotations. If they don't, they're flipping them with 10 to 15 seconds. A much better hard point here to start Saturday.
Yeah, that's one way to put it, Joe. Yeah. Listen, maybe not the stiffest of competition, but there's no competition right now. Are LAG gonna crack 30 points? Yes. They're able to get into the P3. We'll see if they can turn this into something more respectable. Otherwise, you may be looking at the worst hardpoint loss on the year. I mean, this is a historic type of loss. Battling in, fighting through, Ultra able to find the kills to get into the point. 15 needed for the win. Looking to close it out on the P3. Ultra come out firing, LAG come out flat. They spawned into this one dead. Is there 4 dead again? And this is the biggest hardpoint victory of the year. Ass whooping delivered. LAG is thunderstruck.
Yeah, something. I don't really know what else to say outside of that.
Brother,
And well, sometimes, on a Friday, it's just about surviving, getting to the next day. And well, that's what Ultra were able to do, winning that Game 5 round 11 last night. But yeah, maybe just a bit of a wake-up call that they had.
I guess it's like, if you're an LAG fan, if you're rooting for them to make a run or find an upset in this, you got to think you try to catch them in a map 1. It's tough because it's Skyline. That's a bread and butter type of map for Ultra, but it's just one where you try to take some positives away,
take something away.
The guns get hot at some point. You get on a little bit of a streak. Maybe the kills start going your way. You look for any kind of silver lining. There was no silver lining whatsoever. That was just a smackdown.
They ran out of silver.
Yeah, no, 100%. Unreal.
Beats went negative in there. Maybe that's the silver lining.
Yeah, Beats is 12 and 16, but you won by 220, so you feel all right about that. It started out 45-0 through the P1, and it didn't get much better. It is going to be the worst flow chart you're going to see on the year. I kept it as PG as I could with ass whooping because that was just disgusting.
PG-13.
Yeah, okay, PG-13. That's a better way to put it. But wow.
Yeah, there's not really.
No, I know. I'm trying to think of something to take away from LAG, but there's really nothing. Only thing you can touch on is really what you said, sort of. Ultra didn't seem to be fundamentally sound yesterday. We were surprised to see them outplayed in that regard by Optic, and that's not to be a knock at Optic. It's just kind of fundamentals hasn't really been the breakdown of their gear. That's what we talk about more often with Ultra. So we're surprised to kind of see how that played out. We knew Optic had the ability to beat this team. We just saw them do it online, but we didn't think they beat them in the fashion they did, especially in the hard points. So a nice bounce back. That's just one where, yes, you are the favorite here, but you come in and just more than handle business. That is as dominant as it gets, and what else are you going to do but laugh? It's funny, Jonah Steve just laughed at Beast. He's like, it's -4.
Well, he doesn't, yeah.
Dude, that is insane. That is, like I said, they spawned in dead. It's just a flat line. The heart never got beaten, bro. There's no defibrillator or CPR in the world that's rising that one for the dead. Gotaga's looking to buy a different spot. That is bad, bro.
I mean, I truly don't know what else to add. I really don't.